Hello and welcome back to the weekly Waypoint, where this week I said shit, I need to record the weekly Waypoint, what game am I going to do? I did Unreal Tournament last week, but I haven't played Halo in a while, and I looked it up and I found out that they finally made it so that if you are playing with a controller, you are, I think, more likely to be match made with other people who are playing with a controller, and vice versa for PC keyboard controls. So these are my first matches, or I think I did experiment a while back in the past, but it was a bit, it was a bit unbalanced because lots of people were still using mouse and keyboard. So this is my first proper real time playing Halo with a controller, and I kind of prefer it, but probably just because it's easier to aim. I think the idea is you'll be matched against people who play on console if you're using a controller, but I think you can still plug like a keyboard and mouse into your console if you want to, and then those people will probably be matched with more people on the PC side of things. But yeah, I decided to play some Halo, and even though I did pretty atrociously, I had a lot of fun. Lots of times when I go to record a last minute weekly Waypoint, I'm like, shit, okay, I better play this game, and it's fine. It's not like I'm going to choose a game but I don't enjoy playing, but playing this I was like, I haven't played Halo in a few months, I was just like, I am pleasantly surprised at A, how much fun it is, and B, how well it runs on my PC. I forgot, like, there's one or two lag spikes which happen, which you will see, but not as many as I thought. I don't know if I optimized it or if I just remembered it being worse than it is. But yeah, it felt like quite a smooth experience. I could download it and play it on my Xbox, of course, but that's quite a big install size, and I have Elder Scrolls Online installed at the minute, which is also quite a big install size, so I decided maybe only one of those at a time. But for Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, yeah, obviously I'm going to be playing the Xbox versions. I mean, Halo 5 only has an Xbox version. Anyway, this week in terms of video games, I played a bit more Gears of War. I've just reached Act 4. My highlights are on Xbox Game Pass 4, which just went up. That's a lot of 4. I said 4 quite a few times in those sentences. That game is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. It looks really good. And I know it's the Ultimate Edition, it's remastered, and it came out in 2015, but it came out in 2015, and it's a remaster of an older game. I am surprised at how good that game looks. Like, it's not jaw-dropping current X/S gen or anything like that, but it's not like I'm playing it and go, oh, this is aging, you know? It's more like, this is really pretty. Plus, everything about that game just feels good, like controlling this massive, meaty muscle dude as he stomps around in his giant juggernaut armor with his really heavy gut-looking guns. It feels really good, I'm not gonna lie. The combat feels pretty great too. The combat kind of reminds, because obviously it's a cover shooter, kind of reminds me of Uncharted, which is hilarious, because if a year or so ago you would have told me that Uncharted and Gears of War are similar in any way, I would have called you insane, or I would have just assumed that you probably knew better than I was because I'm a reasonable human being. But it's because those games are so different in like story and theme and all of that. But I never, before I played Uncharted, I never really realised it was a cover shooter, and now that I'm playing Gears of War, which I did know was a cover shooter, I'm realising kind of how similar those games are, except Gears of War feels a lot meatier, the actual story and genre is more up my alley kind of a thing. But yeah, no, it might be a weird year, 2021, to suddenly decide to compare Gears of War to Uncharted, like the original games, but here we are. One day I do plan to plug my PlayStation 4 back in and continue my romp through the Uncharted series. I got halfway through number 2, but right now I'm really enjoying Gears of War on Xbox. Speaking of adventure games, shortly after I uploaded last week's weekly Waypoint, Bethesda announced that their Machine Games studio, who did Wolfenstein and all that, is working on an Indiana Jones game, which is interesting, but again, it's like that kind of genre of adventure, like Indiana Jones, Nathan Drake, all those kinds of people, like Lara Croft, I've just never hugely been into. It's one of those things that when I'm interacting with it, like when I'm playing an Uncharted or when I'm watching an Indiana Jones, I really enjoy it, but it's not something I would go out of my way to look for, if you know what I mean. But either way, it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that partnership. I mean, seeing as it's a Bethesda studio, I imagine it'll be coming to Game Pass when it comes out in like 5 years or whatever the hell it's gonna be. So I'll probably check it out. I don't know. Who knows where I'll be in 5 years? Maybe I'll be dead. I hope not. I want to play the Elder Scrolls 6. Also this week I made one of my rare Lego purchases, and now I can confidently say that I own a Ferrari, and I'm a licensed mechanic because I put a Ferrari together, licensed under my own licensing, the Christian licensing program, which licenses only Christian, but still, it counts, damn it. Probably doesn't count. Definitely doesn't count. Now I got the Lego Speed Champions Ferrari Tributo, or I don't know how to say it, but I've realised that, so that's like my third Lego thing. The first was the Batmobile, and the second was the small little AT-AT from Star Wars, or ATST, or whichever the four-legged one is. I'm sorry, I'm not nerd enough. But I've realised that, contrary to what I thought would happen, I thought I would get annoyed about building the thing and just enjoy having the completed product. It's kind of the other way around. I realised I fucking love making Lego sets. But when it comes to actually like having them, it's like, oh, I don't really have enough room to keep all of these. But just putting Lego sets together, something about following those instructions and being like looking for the right piece, and then being like, okay, and then this slots into this, and then this is the fender I'm making, like all of that shit. Oh, just chef's kiss. I clicked my fingers because this is an audio thing, but just assume I was doing the chef's kiss kind of a thing. But yeah, to be fair, it does look cool. I'm not a car guy in reality, but I do really like racing games. So I have grown to have an appreciation of cars and to recognise certain cars, and like I'll typically be able to tell you what brand of car something is, and then maybe the actual make as well, like not make, but you know what I mean, the actual line. See, I don't know how to refer to it. I'm not a car guy, but I can tell you what a Mazda MX-5 is compared to an RX-5, maybe, possibly. Actually, I'll get back to you on that one. Not so sure. But a Lamborghini Gallardo and a Lamborghini Aventador, actually, I recognise the names. It's a start. I just like their aesthetics, okay? I just like how they look. And the Lego ones, I was a little bit unsure of because they look a bit weird and jagged and polygonal, but then I remembered that reminds me of PlayStation 2 racing games, so I was right back on the horse again. Also this week, that's right, every transition in this video is going to start with also this week, I uploaded the first episode of Blurbal Reasoning, the show whose name was voted on by my Twitter followers. Blame them, not me, the guy who came up with the name. Blame them, the ones who chose it out of the three objectively more superior names. Basically, I read a book and then I talk about it. Not the most revolutionary idea in the world, but it was originally going to be called Thoughts Per Chapter, and I was going to stop every chapter and record my thoughts on the chapter I had just read, a little bit like Thoughts Per Episode, but with chapters of a book. The problem with that was it required, especially because I was reading Darren Shan's Cirque du Freak, which has like 3-page long chapters, it required me to be sitting at my keyboard so that when I finished a chapter I could talk about it. And that made reading a very active exercise, and that made me put it off. I'm best at reading when it's not an audiobook, that is, in bed. At night. Like I turn off my phone, or I don't turn off my phone, but I put my phone to the side, and then I'm like, instead of trying to sleep like any rational person would when it's 2 in the morning, I'm like, now seems like the perfect time to read 10 chapters of Cirque du Freak and then get no sleep. But I'm having fun doing it because I mean, as you can probably tell by this channel, I get a kick out of making content around what I love doing, whether that's like actual live gameplay and like moments of that I've cut together, or whether it's me talking about something I've experienced like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is coming out soon. I have 2 episodes left to go in season 3. I love to share and document my experiences. It's a hobby, and that betrayal wasn't my fault, and it's just fun. But you know, I do it for me, but at the same time I was like, well, I mean, I guess I should try and get an audience out of this, because it's a new type of thing I'm doing on the channel. It's a book thing. So I posted it to the Darren Shan subreddit, which apparently there is a Darren Shan subreddit, and I got a really nice response from someone, so that made me happy. I'm always nervous when I post something to Reddit, like that's a video I've made or something I've put hard work into, because there's always one horrible troll who you shouldn't let get to you, but I always do. So subconsciously I've had this thing of, I can make videos and have hardly anyone see them, or I can post them out into the world and have people see them and probably enjoy them, but only hear back from one horrible troll, which is what usually happens. But this time I bit the bullet and I did it, and I'm glad I did. And I'm super excited to read through the rest of the Darren Chan vampire series and the Larkin Crepsley vampire series, and then other books. I just want to start making content around books now. I'm having a really good time with it, so expect a lot more Blurbal Reasoning coming soon to a YouTube channel near you. Also, if I can fit in one last topic in the last minute and a half of this video, Twitch streaming from my Xbox. I've been experimenting a little bit with that, trying to make it work for me. Turns out it's a lot more stable when you have a high bitrate with 720p. So it looks like our streams are going to be 720p, which I didn't really want, because one of the things that was exciting me about getting an next-gen console was the ability to stream at 1080p. But I can stream at a much higher bitrate at 720p, and just like comparatively it looks a lot better than what I can do with 1080p. And I was having some microphone issues as well, but I've sorted those out, so hopefully we should get some Xbox streams in the future. And note that I've desperately tried not to ramble about Elder Scrolls Online this week, but I am still like waist deep in Elder Scrolls Online, so there should be some Elder Scrolls Online streams coming soon. I already did a couple of like proper streams, like hour and a half long streams in that game if you're interested, but they don't look very good, so I'm not going to bother archiving them. So if you want some super limited edition streams, you can find those at twitch.tv/Kritigri until they are banished in like 2 weeks or whatever it is that the limit is. But yeah, my alternate channel, which you can find in my channel banner, is my VOD archive, so you can go there for all future Xbox streams and the like. Thank you very much for watching this tragic gameplay, especially at the start of this match. The button mapping for Halo 3 is different to Halo 2 Anniversary, which confused me for a moment. I zoomed in on someone instead of meleeing them. It was a whole thing, but we are approaching the end of this, where I was the best of the worst. So I will take that accolade. Thank you very much. Hope you all are doing well, hope you all stay safe, hope you all have a lovely week, and I will see you in the next video as the screen fades to black.